are with Sully. We're walking next to the busy road. He's doing an awesome job. We have passed 2 dogs already, and he walked just like this. I'm so impressed. So now we're going past, usually there's these 3 dogs who will run and charge this fence for me and bark at us, and the dogs can't tell that the dogs can't get out. I know they can't get out, but the dogs don't know that. And so usually I can work on some good dog reactivity while on leash. Looks like they're not awake yet this morning, but maybe they'll come out when I get into the road. So again, most important thing when we start in the walk is our hand placement and our leash placement. My hand is slightly behind me. My leash is short but loose. He is actually rocking it. I don't know if you can tell. I have my 5 tools that I can use, my flicks, my zigzags, my direction change, my rollbacks, and my reset. However, I use my reset often, not just for correction, but just randomly at least 12 times during the walk, working on that patient sit, learning how to just sit there comfortably while we have a conversation, while we tie our shoe, while we pick up a rock, I don't know, whatever we want that to be. We need Sully to learn how to sit there calm, cool, and collected. Our friends didn't come out of this one. Let's check the next house. But you can see we're just walking. I'm giving a few little flicks. He's correcting pretty well. He's still not self-correcting yet, but he is correcting whenever I'm giving those flicks or whenever I do those little zigzags. He's correcting for me. So not for himself, but just for me. And that's okay. That's why we're teaching you the tools, so that you can use them at home also. You'll want to do the free play training walk bed reflect at least a minimum of 2 times at your house each day. I try to have people try for 3, but the very minimum is 2 times at your house. So that's why we're giving you all the tools you need to be able to help Sully progress more and more and more. Looks like all of my friends are inside. It is a little rainy this morning, kind of drizzly. So we'll come back and try again this afternoon. All right, so first we had free play, then we had the training walk, and now we're on the bed, and then we'll move to reflection. So they're on their beds. We've already gotten the first set of kids off to school. We have the second half here. You can see we still have our breakfast mess and chaos. And we've had everyone rush out today's walk with principal day at school, so it was a little bit chaotic. Anyways, and the kids have done great. No one's actually tried to get off their bed. We're going to do some more door knocking here in a second. We sit the kids out one door, and they're going to come around another door and knock on the door for us, so it's a surprise for the dogs. Where normally I've been walking up to the door knocking, and they've gotten really good at that, so now we're going to have someone just walk up. Scott's dropping pencils. Coming, just a second. You can hear them ringing the doorbell and them knocking.
Hello guys, welcome. It's so exciting.
You can hear Scott being over-exaggerated. Here comes the kids in. Good
job, Davey.
So Davian's going to apply distance pressure to Sully for us because he was first up.
Awesome, it's a party.
As soon as Sully's bum went down, Davian released that distance pressure. We have more knocking.
Just a second, here I come.
We're opening other doors that are in the room behind us.
Hello, welcome, come on in.
And the kids, the furry kids, Sully and Camp, are looking, so are the human ones, I guess, are looking, but neither one are getting up or standing up that time. So that was really great. We're going to have some of the staff come over, and we'll have them come in. Scott's hitting the pumpkins up top.
Come on in.
Scott, will you step out and see how Sully does when you go out with the door open?
Yeah, come on guys, let's all go. Come on, let's go.
Shh, So, I'm going to use the leash, put him back on the bed. Shh, use my distance pressure.
Here we go. Bye,
So one reason, bye, we don't use commands was that exact purpose, right? Scott said, all right, let's go. If we're using verbal commands like okay or let's go or things like that, the dogs are going to react to Scott calling the kids to let's go, right? So we want to make sure, right now while we're doing behavioral training, we don't use any cues. The only way we get them off their bed is grabbing that leash or their collar and walking them off of their beds so that they don't respond to him calling the kids or any of the excitement we're teaching them. All you got to do is just chill there. I'll get you off your bed when it's time. All you need to do is just be happy and chill. And they're doing great. We're going to keep working with them. Oh, Sully's thinking about getting off. Camp's rocking it over there. All right, here Ollie is walking Sully for me. He has that nice loose leash right beside him. His hand is by his back pocket. Whenever Sully creates pressure on the leash, he's going to give a flick or do some zigzags. That was some pressure on the leash. He did a little flick. There, Ollie, will you do some zigzags? There you go, that's loose leash right there. Now he's kind of getting some pressure on, which I am in front. Remember, Ollie, a flick is just when you flick like this, you don't have to go across and back. You just wiggle your wrist.
Oh, so that was a zigzag.
No. Okay, hold on, you're getting too close. Back. A zigzag is when you walk from one side of the sidewalk to the other side. Good question. So you're just gonna zigzag with your body and walk from one side to the other side. You'll do those flicks at the same time. I'm gonna go behind you so we can watch behind you while you keep going forward. There, that's a nice loose leash. That was a good flick, Ollie. Beautiful, you can see the slack in that leash. That's what we're going for, just this nice loose leash on a walk. Try not to let your hand get in front of you, Ollie, whenever you flick. Let it just stay by that back pocket. Good. Go ahead and do a zigzag, Ollie. Just walk from one side to the other. There you go. Yep, you'll just bump right into him and keep walking. Good flick there. Beautiful. All right, here we have Scott riding a motorcycle. Sully is struggling with sitting there. He's gonna lift up. Good, as soon as his bum goes down, he will release the pressure. That was a much better reaction than we had the first time, so that is awesome. And so Ollie's just still holding that pressure until Sully puts his bum down, he releases, his bum comes back up, he lifts back up. And Scott's just doing circles over and over again until Sully can sit there calm, cool, and collected as he goes past with the dog. So there he went back by, he did pretty good. Here he goes through. There, that was beautiful. That was exactly what we're wanting. Good job. We want him to be calm, cool, and collected as he goes past. Here we are with Sully and Camp. Sully's getting a little far ahead of you, Ollie. Will you scoot your hand farther back or do some zigzags for me? There you go. We have some dogs coming up there on my right-hand side over here by me and Camp. That's what's causing Sully to pick up a faster pace. Camp has not noticed them yet. He doesn't quite have that tall view over the grass like Sully does. There. So Sully has that nice loose leash. He's walking leg by leg with Ollie. Ollie's able to get those flicks to correct. Camp is needing a little bit of zigzags and flicks. Camp likes to have just a little bit of pressure on me at all times. So we're just working on not. I don't need any pressure on me to go on a walk. So let's not create any pressure. The dogs, here come the dogs. I think I see them starting to come. Yeah. Oh no, they're going the other way. Oh, you can see Sully sees them still. They're chasing cars up the other road. Yep, you can see Sully's head is up. Camp is just cruising. He doesn't even see him. Sully's head is up. You can see his body language is changing. Ollie, your hand's getting in front of you. Will you please keep it by your back pocket? There we go. Ollie's giving those flicks. Maybe go ahead and do some zigzags for me, Ollie. From one side to the other. There we go. Zigzagging. That way he can't keep an eye on his friends all at once. We're back here doing a few zigzags, working on that light pressure. He's not really pulling, but just has that light pressure. Ollie's doing some zigzags up here, walking from sidewalk to sidewalk. There, that's a good loose leash. You can see Ollie's hand is by his back pocket. That you can see, oh, there's leash is tight right now, but it was nice and loose. Very good. Here we are with Ollie. He's waiting to go inside. He had Sully put his bum down. He's going to open the door. Sully has to keep his bum down until Ollie tugs the leash. Good. All right, so we did our free play, our training walk. Now we're on to our bed. And remember, reflection is just when they are in their kennel or in their room without, not like in your bedroom, but like in a mud room or a bathroom or a laundry room, a place where they can just sit and think about all that they've learned and how awesome training has been. Our walks went really well. Both of them had some really, really good learning opportunities when it came to the dog running down the road with the motorcycle and walking. This is their first time walking with a buddy. So it was interesting to work their minds that way and have them walk together and then separate and watch a dog leave and catch up to a dog and keeping that no pressure on the leash. So it was good to work that side of their brain. They did a great job. Who are you for? Sully? You can go and give it to him. So Sully has to be on his bed in the sit position, and he is here for his snack today. So he's gonna have his snack. It's a little popsicle. I'll get you something, Cam, don't worry. Yeah. So right there, he just gets a treat every day at lunch. That was part of one of the things, or not every day. I don't actually know when they booked it for, but it was a popsicle. But again, so she gave him a treat, his bum was down, he got it, and then he could eat it. Wouldn't mind if he stood up while eating it, as long as soon as he finished, he sat back down in that layer down position. You can see the transitional leashes are not on their nose. I'm about to make a video of how we use them and how we put them on, so I will show you how those work also today. They both did very good. We're gonna stay on the beds for a while today because we had such a growing experience with the dog being out, and both of them had to work really hard to learn to control that impulse, and so I'm very proud of them both. Here we are with Sully. We have this transitional leash we've been using all week. This is the handle. So it just looks like a normal handle, has this black piece right here. If you follow the handle down, Sully's very excited at our walk. You'll see this in. If I open it up, it just makes a giant slip lead. So this piece can get looser until it hits into here, and then it can't get any looser, right? If I move this down to the bottom, I have this in. This black piece is a safety that connects to Sully's collar. Right in front of it, you can see the rope. If I push that back, this becomes the piece that goes over the nose. So I can go from a slip lead to a transitional lead, right? So I like to switch, I'm going to switch hands here so you can see it go over Sully's head. I like to make it a little bigger. So I still have this black piece is going to go behind his ears, and this piece is going to go over the nose. Sully likes to always duck his head down every time I'm going to put the leash on him. So I like to put my hand in here so I can catch his nose. So this is just the leash that we use for walking. So I'm going to grab his nose. I'm going to go over his head. I'm not giving you belly rubs. Over his head, and this piece is going to go on his nose. No belly rubs. Come on, up, up. There, thank you. And you can see it's a little crooked, so I'm going to move this. I want this piece to be right here behind his ears, not way over here. So I'm going to pull this one towards me and push this one away until it's right there in the middle. And then I have this keeper here. I'm going to push this button and slide it down. I have this piece. I have this piece here that I'm going to connect to the collar. That's the safety. And then just see how it's right here behind his ears. See if it's the right length. I'm going to look at the weight of an apple. I only need 1 inch. If it's longer than that, it's a little short. Still a little crooked. There we go. Now we're right in the middle. That's what we want. No. I don't want him to put his paws on me. I am the owner. He's not the owner. So I want to love on him, and he can love back on me in an appropriate way. But putting his hand on top, It's kind of like at the baseball games where everyone puts their hands in and someone keeps trying to put their hand on top. That person wants to be the leader. Sully trying to put his hand on top. He says, and I will lead you. And I'm like, no, I got this, Sully. Thank you so much. Okay, that's right. All right, so let's take it off and do it again. To take it off, I'm going to push this flat keeper button. Dig it up, take it off over the head, off the nose, and then back again. Off of, Not going anywhere, Sully. Come on, baby. Thank you. All right, so let's do this again, right? Open it up big. I have my two pieces, right? This is the piece that, the black safety. I'm just going to pull it up. I'm going to go over his nose. I might stand up this time and have him sit so he doesn't think he's going in to get belly rubs. There we go. I'm going to get some distance pressure so he puts his arm back down. There we go. I have my hand through it. Just going to grab his chin, go over his head, on his nose. On his head you can see now it's crooked on this side. So I want this to go this way, so I'm going to move this the opposite way. I'll fix his lip, stop fixing. And then I'm going to grab the keeper, cinch it down, grab that safety, attach it on. Lift it the way of an apple, it's only an inch, so we know we're at a good size. I will give you one of these transitional leashes when he goes home, so you have one. To take it off and have him be just in a slip lead, I'm going to push this button, loosen it up, skip it off the nose, push the button again, and lower it all the way back down. Now it's in a slip lead, just around his neck, if you can see that, just around his neck. I love these transitional leads for this purpose. It can be a slip lead, it can be a transitional lead. I can kind of switch back and forth. Right now, he'll only be in slip lead when he's on the bed, otherwise he will be in the transitional leash. But as he grows, months down the road, far in the future, he'll be about ready to transition out of the transitional leash, and it's nice to be able to flip it back and forth, because maybe one day you're like, I think we're ready, and then you're like, no, we're not. But you're not taking anything off and losing it somewhere, you're just readjusting it on him the way it is. So that's how we work the transitional leash.